but hopefully we could get it before. Nah.
That should have been it. That should have been a knockdown. Having said that, let me stand up. Shannon, Ocho, I got to apologize on national television today.
He took a knee, lost the fight on paper, and now he's refusing to give Lamont Roach a rematch. Despite the controversy and fans demanding a clear winner, Gervonta Tank Davis is still avoiding Roach. Critics from boxing insiders to fans are frustrated with Tank's indifference, and now an ESPN analyst has gone off on him, calling out his refusal to settle the score. Will this be the final push to get Davis to agree to a rematch? Let's dive into the drama and find out. It's no secret that the majority of the boxing community believes Gervonta Davis taking a knee against Lamont Roach should have been ruled a knockdown. Had that happened, Roach would have gained a significant edge in that round, and he likely would have won the fight, considering the bout ended in a majority draw.
2 seconds later, he takes a knee. Guess what? I'm sorry. That constitutes a knockdown. Your knee goes down after a punch somewhere around.
The missed opportunity for a knockdown ruling has been a major point of contention in the aftermath of this fight, with fans and analysts alike debating its impact on the final outcome. Lamont Roach, for his part, surprised everyone with his performance. Despite the draw, many saw him as the clear victor, and his stock has only risen since. Roach went toe-to-toe with one of the sport's most feared punchers, Tank Davis, without any hesitation or fear. He fought bravely, opting to trade powerful shots rather than back down. Despite facing an opponent known for his knockout power, it was a bold approach, and it earned him the respect of fans and critics alike. Roach's decision to fight head-on without bulletproof vests and helmets, as fans have described it, showed a level of fearlessness that captivated the audience. In many ways, this performance, even though it didn't officially go into his win column, elevated Roach's profile in the sport, gaining him legions of new fans. Now, the conversation has shifted towards a rematch. When asked about the possibility, Roach confidently stated that he had already signed the contract for a second fight. According to Roach, he's simply waiting for Gervonta to sign his part of the deal so they can make the rematch official. This declaration by Roach has only heightened anticipation for the rematch, with fans eager to see if Gervonta will agree to settle the score in the ring once again.
I already signed. My first contract is signed for an immediate rematch in the case of a draw or if I win. So I'm already contractually signed to a rematch. It's on him. I hope we can get it done because I want to show the world again that that wasn't a fluke.
While most fighters in Davis's position would jump at the chance for an immediate rematch to quiet their critics and prove they can decisively close the show, Davis has taken a more hesitant approach. When questioned about a second fight with Roach, the Baltimore native hesitated to give a clear response. Instead, he suggested that a rematch might not happen this year, leading many to speculate that he may be avoiding a second bout with Roach.
Do you want that rematch next? And if so, how likely it is that we're to see that fight happen again this year?
I'm not sure, bro. I'm definitely not sure, but hopefully we could get it before. Nah, it probably won't be this year.
Is that the one you want next?
It's definitely the one I want next, but it's not going.
This vagueness from Tank, combined with the controversy surrounding the first fight, has fueled accusations from fans and pundits that Davis is ducking Roach, avoiding a rematch for fear of another close contest or perhaps even a loss. Gervonta's reluctance to commit to an immediate rematch has not sat well with many in the boxing world, especially given the contentious nature of the first fight. The unresolved debate over who should have won the initial bout has left a sour taste in the mouths of many, and Davis's apparent disinterest in an immediate rematch has only added fuel to the fire. Instead of taking the opportunity to settle the controversy and silence his doubters, Davis seems to be stepping back, a move that has sparked widespread criticism. Fans and boxing insiders alike have blasted Tank for what they perceive as an unwillingness to face Roach again, with many accusing him of tarnishing his reputation by not pursuing the fight that the public clearly wants to see. One of the most vocal critics of Gervonta Davis avoiding a rematch with Lamont Roach was none other than ESPN analyst Stephen A. Smith. Before the fight, Smith was confident that Gervonta Davis would be too much for Roach to handle, firmly predicting a win for Davis.
To a pueblo, Gervonta Davis uses 80, knocks somebody out inside of 85 punches because he's clearly capable of that. But I just see this as being a kind of fight where he's going to have to run him down. He's going to have to walk him down, rather, and he's going to have to throw some punches.
Smith, like many in the boxing world, expected Davis's power and skill to overwhelm Roach, especially considering Gervonta's reputation as one of the most dangerous fighters in the sport. However, the fight did not go as expected. After Lamont Roach delivered a remarkable toe-to-toe performance, even outboxing Davis in several aspects, Smith had to set aside his initial prediction and humbly admit that he had underestimated Roach. In a rare moment for a boxing analyst, Stephen Smith publicly apologized to Roach for doubting his abilities. He went on national television and issued an apology acknowledging Roach's incredible display of skill and resilience. This gesture from Smith showed just how much respect Roach had earned in the analyst's eyes, and underscored the impact of Roach's performance.
That should have been it. That should have been a knockdown. Having said that, let me stand up. Shannon, Ocho, I got to apologize on national television to
Smith further explained that he hadn't given Roach much of a chance to win, largely because Roach was moving up in weight class. There are weight classes for a reason, and there is an inherent difficulty for smaller fighters moving up to face bigger, stronger opponents. Generally, when a fighter jumps up in weight, the odds are stacked against them, and their chances of success diminish. This sentiment was especially true for Roach, who was stepping into the ring against Davis, one of the most feared knockout artists in his division. Stephen believed that Roach would be overwhelmed by Davis's power and physicality, but in the end, Roach proved him wrong with a performance that defied expectations.
I didn't give him much of a chance in this fight because I thought he was the smaller guy moving up. I didn't expect him to be in the ring bigger. And from opening bell, he walked right.
In his final remarks, Smith gave Lamont Roach the respect he deserved. He acknowledged that Roach's performance had shocked him in a positive way, and praised Roach for his bravery in stepping up to face someone as dangerous as Gervonta Davis. According to Smith, it takes a special kind of fighter to play Russian roulette with an opponent like Davis, and Roach did exactly that, learning admiration from fans and analysts alike.
I was stunned, and the brother can fight. I'm very impressed with Lamont Roach. He put on a great performance, and he wants his love on national television right now. We need to give it to him. This brother is special for the sport of boxing. He can fight.
But here's the thing, if Gervonta passes on a rematch with Lamont Roach and goes in a different direction for his next fight, the question is, who's next for Tank? The obvious dream matchup would be a showdown with Shakur Stevenson. That fight would pit Davis's explosive offense against Stevenson's elite defensive skills, a true clash of styles that boxing fans would go wild for. But there's a catch. Stevenson is now with Eddie Hearn's Matchroom Boxing, and he's working closely with Saudi powerhouse Turki Al-Sheikh, chairman of the General Entertainment Authority in Saudi Arabia. That means this fight would be tough to make, to say the least. Tank has been pretty clear on how he feels about dealing with Al-Sheikh, and let's just say he's not a fan. So a fight with Stevenson seems like a long shot at best. The same goes for Teofimo Lopez, the 140-pound champ. Lopez is already set to headline a May 2nd triple header at Times Square alongside Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia. That really narrows down the list of names for Tank at 140 pounds under Premier Boxing champions. One option could be going after the WBC junior welterweight champ, Alberto Puello, who just took out Sandor Martin on the undercard. But let's be honest, there might not be as much hype around Tank chasing a 140-pound belt as there would be for a Roach rematch. A showdown with Keyshawn Davis, another top name at 135 pounds, could get the hardcore fans buzzing. But Keyshawn is still building his name. And let's face it, he's not exactly on the radar of casual boxing fans just yet. In a fight with Vasily Lomachenko, that's unlikely too. Lomachenko is flirting with retirement, but if he did decide to stick around for another fight, a Tank versus Loma battle would definitely draw attention. The truth is, there's no clear path for Tank's next fight, unless he changes his stance and plays ball with Al-Sheikh. His options for a big-money, high-profile bout are slim. Sure, he could take on a lower-profile fighter, but the boxing world is starting to get impatient with Tank, not facing the top names between 135 and 140 pounds. At the end of the day, Gervonta Davis is a box office star. His name alone can fill arenas and rake in pay-per-view buys, even without a massive opponent on the other side of the ring. But the question remains, does the draw with Roach eat away at him enough to push for that rematch? Only time will tell. Let's see how Tank feels in a month or two.